Hi, Luc. Hi, Jocelyn. Thanks for being with us from Canada. So you will present the whole project on La Mouche Rose, but it was really initiated by Luc, who was leading the PRISM structure to promote transfer from research to the field. And Jocelyn is a grower from the region where the La Mouche Rose is located, and Jocelyn is involved in running La Mouche Rose. You will explain much better than me how it works.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night. Are located in our small place. I'm Luc. I was General Director of PRISM from 1982 to 2012. I've been helped to prepare that presentation by Anne-Marie Fortier, who's an entomologist and the project leader of the SID program against the onion maggot, but also against the cabbage maggot. Jocelyn is a vegetable grower, and he's the actual president of Phytodata. Phytodata is a part of a consortium of 3 organizations. The first one, PRISM, has started in 1982, a non-profit organization. Phytodata, the members of PRISM have created Phytodata in 1992 as a private organization, profit organization. And Datasol was created in 1998 to take care of agro-environmental issues in relation with soil sustainability and water quality. You can translate PRIS, the acronym of Production en Régie Intégrée du Sud de Montréal. You could translate that by Integrated Crop Management Production South of Montreal. And basically, the 3 organizations are doing monitoring and transfer. There are 35 vegetable growers that are members and also shareholders of the organizations. They grow about 4,000 hectares of vegetables. The crop value of these 4,000 hectares is more or less $100 million. They grow vegetables on organic, or you can call also muck soils and mineral soils. And they hire 20 full-time professionals and technicians and 30 summer scouts. All crops are scouted at least once a week, and for some pests and some crops, we have to scout 2 times a week. To understand the development of the integrated pest management and SID program in southeastern Quebec, you need to take into account the social and technical aspects. First, the most important technical and social aspect is the grower. The development of this area started in the 50s, and at that time we had a lot of immigration from Europe. So we analyzed the agent of the vegetable growers in this area, which is very special in Quebec. It's a bunch of Quebecers, Dutch, French, Italian from the north and the south, and Swiss. In the 50s and 60s, they were not very rich, so they learned to work with a cooperative approach based on sharing the equipment and expertise and technology. And because of the people from Europe, we had access to imported technology from Europe. And these technologies are many times very different from the ones that were developed in the US or in Canada. There are scientific and technical issues in this area. It's an area with very specific soils and climate. It's the warmest climate in the province in Quebec. There is in this area, more or less 400 to 500 square kilometers, a large acreage of high-value crops. Over 60% of the province vegetable value is produced in this area. The pest pressure is very high, and pesticide resistance appeared in the 80s, and linked to expensive crop damage and also heavy use of pesticides, and also leading to contamination of rivers by pesticides, and especially by chlorpyrifos, which was used to control the onion maggot and other maggots in this area. The onion seed project started in 2004 after many years of heavy losses in bulb and green onions. And even with heavy use of pesticides, for example, to onion maggot, we needed to apply 3 times the registered rate of chlorpyrifos. And many growers were using at the same time chlorpyrifos in the seed furrow and seed treatments like Trigard, or actually they're using also Cipresto. In 2004, the initiative was, I have to underline that the initiative was supported by the Bezo company and its representative in Canada, Norseco. At that time, Bezo was considering that seed treatment would impact germination and germination and vigor of the seeds. So they were supporting alternative to seed treatment. Okay, just to illustrate the origin, the ethnic origin of people. On the left side, you have the Leclair business sign, and you can see that Jocelyn is only 3 kilometers away from here. Delflin obviously is the Van Winden originate from the Delft area in Holland. The Lando family, you can see the colors of the flag of Italy. They're originated from Padova, near north of Italy, and Breze is they come from Brittany, and you can see it by the round hat that they wear.
Okay.
Okay. The success of the SIT program can also be explained by the media, social pressure, and politicians. To make a short resume, 2006-2007, we sampled a creek named Gibaud and the data were published in 2010. In February 2011, La Presse, which is a very important newspaper in Montreal, in the front page the data from this study on the Gibaud Creek 2000.
Okay, so we are going to make a small break. Just relax while we are working on the connection, because it seems that we lost all Canada. Our 2 speakers got lost, or maybe we are the ones disconnected. But maybe we can answer a few questions from the chat. Clelia, we got 2 questions, no, 3 questions for you. There is one question about the types of sterilization for insects. Are there several types of sterilization?
So there are several ways to sterilize, but basically for the classical sterilizing technique, it's ionizing radiation. So it had started with gamma rays. Now it's mostly X-rays that are being used. But there are also machines using electrons that are being used, a bit less, but that's possible. And then you have other variants of sterilization approaches that involve transgenics, or we could also mention Wolbachia if it's not exactly the same sterilizing effects.
Thank you. We got a second question, a funny question. Do you have examples where SIT was stopped? I mean, because successful or for any reason the program got stopped? And then do we have data about what happened, about the population dynamics of the pests?
Well, if you stop SIT before reaching eradication, if that was the objective, then your population happily goes back. There will be the example that Martin will. So that exactly. Well, that's the other thing. You could stop because you reach eradication and then you stop releasing, but that's a positive outcome. Mm-hmm. And also the screw-arm SIT that I've shown, like they're not continuing to release all over US and Central America. They're only releasing in Panama now.
All right, and a last question from Pierre-Franck. Is there any example showing that SIT release enhance involvement of farmer clusters in pest and beneficial monitoring?
So I don't like the answer I could make is that, for example, on the Oxia program in Canada, the monitoring action made by the Oxia program allowed also monitoring other pests and have a much stronger and faster reaction to other pest outbreak starting. And it of course involved the farmers, but usually in all SIT programs, the monitoring is made by the program itself and rarely by the farmers.
Okay.
Well, hopefully we got back network in Canada.
Let's check. Otherwise, with the other possibility is to let Martin present in presential, because he's here in front of me, in front of us. And then we can come back to the other talk. Let's just ask Noémie and Jérôme. 1 minute? Okay, so let's wait 1 minute, and if after 1 minute we still fail to connect to our colleagues, we will take the alternative.
In the meantime, think about your good questions for the Canadian colleagues.
There is one question. What about lobesia and pheromones? I don't know exactly what is the question. We got back our colleagues. Luc, Jocelyn, are you with us?
Welcome back.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So I left you when I was talking about the Gibaud-Delisle stream. So in 2006 and 2007, we sampled the Gibaud-Delisle. You can see the stream, and on each side muck soils that are grown in different vegetables. And in that stream, we did 70 samples in the 2-year period. 100 of the samples had a higher concentration, 75% higher. The average concentration that is toxic for aquatic life was 75 times higher than the the level of concentration that would in the 128 times the toxic level for aquatic life. So in February 2011, La Presse did the front page with these results, and you can see on the picture that was on the newspaper that the vegetable production is clearly related in the newspaper to the contamination of the Gibaud-de River that goes directly to the St. Lawrence River. You can see on the north the area of Montreal Island. In October 2015, Radio-Canada put on TV report. You have the web link to see what was published at that time. And on that report, Minister of Agriculture admits that the contamination of rivers is a problem that has to be addressed. And in February 2016, after the media and public pressure about the contaminations of rivers, the Minister of Agriculture of Quebec announced the support of a SIT program. And now I will give back I will present you Jocelyn, who will continue the presentation.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Between 2015 and 2017, a first regional project aimed at increasing the area treated with sterile fly, and the number of grower users made it possible to monitor wild population on several farms in order to propose an adequate release rate. In February 2016, the Minister of Agriculture publicly announced its support to our initiative. At the same time, the Quebec government also implemented a program to encourage growers to adopt alternative methods to pesticide. This program covered 70% of the cost of sterile fly, up to 60,000 per farm for 5 years, and we are confident that they will renew the program for another 5 years. In 2018, we decided to invest in a new 600 square meter production facility to produce insects in a better condition and increase space available to mass produce a second species, the cabbage fly. A few words about the sterile insect technology, the SIT. It's a biological control method that consists of producing a large quantity of individual pupa stored for up to 6 months, sterilize them by exposure to a low dose of radiation before they're released in the field. While females mate with sterile male and then lay sterile eggs. No maggot, no damage. SIT is not the only strategy that we were using during the first year of implementation of SIT. One growers have found that the variety green banner attract more the onion fly than other varieties. So we started to sow a row of green banner every 20 row or so in green onion. It concentrates the damage as long as the green banner is not totally destroyed. Some farmers did that for the first year to let the wild population go down and reduce the risk of damage on the harvested variety. No. A short geography lesson. We are located in Sherrington, very close from a main market, 35 kilometers south of Montreal. As you see on the map, on the left, it's Montreal. and more or less 600 kilometers from Toronto Market, New York, Boston, or Philadelphia. Our area has been baptized the small California of the North. On that photo, the darker area are Maxwell, where the major part of Quebec onion are grown. In 2011, PRIS monitored 150 hectares of green onion and 700 hectares of bulb onion. In 2011, 140 hectares were treated with SIT. Since 2021, treat area have exceeded to 1,000 hectares. So approximately 40% of onion grow in Quebec benefit from sterile fly. In 2023, 143 hectares will be treated in Quebec and 26 hectares in Ontario. 16 growers using sterile fly are not shareholder of Philodata. The first year we started, we introduced a massive quantity of sterile fly to make sure we get an efficient control and reduce wild fly at the maximum. In the first 5 years, we were able to reduce the introduction rate by about 90%. We can see on that picture that after 2015, the treated acreage increased every year, coinciding with the government program to support the farm.
Jocelyn, we have 2 minutes left.
Okay. Cabbage maggot is a major insect pest of brassica vegetable in our area. In 2015, we made the first experimental release of sterile fly on 1 hectare site of daikon at rate ranging from 300,000 to 800,000 fly per hectare. Since 2017, Dolphin Farm expanded the use of SIT in the entire farm. Entire daikon acreage, now treating about 65 hectares. As with the onion fly, introducing rate have decreased by 90% in less than 5 years. The first generation of cabbage maggot is always the most damaging one. As you can see, over the year, we started with 34% of damage of the first generation to less than 3% on the 2019. The wild population on the farm declined drastically in a few years. This figure shows the average weekly wild cabbage maggot catch for the entire season of 2015 in gray, 2018 in blue, and 2019 in pink. More trials have been carried out over the past 2 years in various cruciferous crops such as radishes, and significant reduction in damage was observed with the use of SIT for most sites compared to untreated control field. SIT is a technology that is counterintuitive for business. The more it is efficient, the less you sell. In the future, we are probably going to sell the control of maggot per hectare, not the fly by themselves. We are grower shareholder of Philodata who wants to develop ecological crop protection technology for our farm. One of the objectives is to benefit from a sustainable technology that is not dependent on product developed and manufactured in other parts of the world. We are replacing active ingredient by active brain ingredient. This could be achieved through collaboration with growers, researchers, and business model of other area of production having comparable pest problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luc and Jocelyn. We are short on time, but we're going to take one question.
Hey, this is Simon working on Fly, but Suzuki Fly in France trying to do SIT. Thanks for the presentation, the 2 voices, and despite the challenges with the connection. Do you guys hear us? over there. More or less, yeah?
Excuse me, can you repeat?
All right. So what do you think about it? No, that was a joke. So, so I was saying, this is Simon working on SIT, Suzuki, another fly. My question to you was, can you give us more details of the, say, the relative input in terms of money and in terms of controlling what happens from the growers themselves, but do you have other players in your consortium? Do you have state money, investments, where you got the money for the irradiator? Because this is an area that you didn't develop much.
No, the only money come from government is when we sell the fly by themselves with the program. For the company to do the flies, we receive money for implication on the society, but it's with the bank we receive 2 times some money, like just to start the business with our new building. But the day every day we don't receive anything. We have to develop our business with the farmer and do the price of the fly in consideration of what the flies cost and the development of the other flies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luc. So there are more questions in the chat, and we will let you answer those questions, please, directly on internet if you can. And we'll have to move on to the next speakers.